It's changing, I know. Right down in the hall to the left. But we're going to, okay. Are we ready? Whenever you're ready, we're just making sure you're live there, Sharon?
Yeah. Check, check. Oh, what's that, sorry? I don't think the... Hello, check, 1, 2. All right. Cool, cool.
We are live again. Welcome back,
Awesome.
everyone.
Woo! All right. Yeah, thanks again, guys. Hello, I am Sharon again. Super excited to hang out with you guys again and be able to do this next segment of our workshop, which is drum fills and how to make them your own. So one of the things that I love to talk about is creativity, especially when it comes to the drums. And essentially, you guys got a little bit of a hint or a clue as to what I was talking about in regards to creativity from the first workshop. But essentially, what's really cool about drumming is like you can understand a concept, maybe not physically be able to play it quite yet, but even understanding the concept of where we're going and then being able to practice that physically at home and then just understand that you can take that concept and run with that is such a great tool to know, and especially when it comes to drum fill ideas. So for those of you guys who are there virtually or in person as well, if you guys hear a drum fill idea and you're like, you know what, I just can't play that right now. As long as you understand the concept of what we're talking about for this workshop, you can always feel free to just go home and be able to practice those different techniques or different things that physically you may not be able to play right now, but you can understand what it looks like and practice those things at home. So some of those things might be the speed. Some of it might be like a technique, like a heel-toe technique, or maybe it's like... just different patterns around the kit that are just uncomfortable right now. Those things can always be worked on. So if you feel like, yeah, right now we aren't able to play that right now, that does not mean you'll never be able to play that. It just means not yet. Okay? So just wanted to kind of give a little heads up on that because some of the drum fill ideas I'm going to be talking about, some of them you'll understand the concept of it and then you can run with it later. All right? Is that cool? Yeah, woo, woo, woo. All right, sounds good. Okay, all right, so with that being said, there are 3 concepts that I'm going to be talking about for this workshop today, and these 3 concepts are, wait, hold on. So first of all, the topic is drum fills and how to make them your own. And so there are 3 concepts that I'm going to talk about in regards to drum fills as to how you can do that and accomplish that. So the 3 are steal it, re-orchestrate it, sing it. All right. Now, there are so many different ways to come up with drum fill ideas and also be able to develop solos and things like that. But again, steal it, re-orchestrate it, sing it. Okay, so we're going to talk about those 3 steps, and I'm going to show you different ways to be able to do those. So again, you guys can say that with me. Steal it, re-orchestrate it, and sing it. Okay, so SRS. That's what we're going to go through. All right, so steal it. I am literally going to show you guys drum fills that you guys can 100% steal because I stole them. That's really what it is. Like, no, not actually. But they're also things that I've come up with as well. So one of the great things about drum fill ideas is that there are so many great drummers out there, and there's always things to be learning and understanding, and we're all in different spots. Like, I loved how Tammy was mentioning that earlier. It's like, we're all in different skill levels, and that's totally cool. We're all drummers, and we're all in different journeys when it comes to this. And there's always going to be things to reach for, always going to be things to learn and understand, and we're all going to be in different places, but what connects us is the fact that we're all drummers, and so super cool to be able to do something like this too. So steal it. So I'm going to show you guys some drum fill ideas I typically use in performance contexts. I'm going to show you guys some like tricks and things like that as well that I typically do that are like drum fill and stick tricks as well. But they're just kind of concepts, techniques, tricks, ideas that you guys can totally 100% steal, and then you guys can run with it and make them your own, okay? So with that being said, the first steal it drum fill that I'm going to show you guys is a linear drum fill idea, all right? So one of the ways that I love to do linear drum fills is I love to use the pattern right, left, right, kick, kick. However, a little trick is that for the kick, kick at the very end, I typically do a heel-toe technique. So I'm just going to explain this really quickly. And also, too, if you're on Drumeo as well, or if you're on YouTube, there are techniques and practice videos to show this heel-toe technique. Essentially, with the heel-toe technique, what you want to do is be able to play the pedal with your heel first, and then you slide back and hit with your toe. However, if you have a bigger foot or if you have a shorter pedal board on your kick pedal, what you're going to notice is that you may not be able to hit the heel of your foot against the pedal. You might have to use the middle of your foot and then do a toe and back up and hit your toe, okay? And actually at a faster tempo, that typically tends to be the thing. You're not necessarily hitting with your heel anymore. You're actually more hitting with the middle of your foot and then your toe. Okay, so if this is my pedal right here, essentially what my foot is doing, this is my foot right here, is that I'm going to be playing heel, back up, toe. Heel, back up, toe. That's how you essentially start it at the very beginning, but eventually you're going to want to go middle of the foot, toe. Da-da, 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 da-da. And that's essentially the heel-toe technique. All right, so that's just a run-through concept, just so you guys understand. But that's a technique that I'm going to show you. Understanding what the fill sounds like, though, it's right, left, right, kick, kick. And the other thing, too, is that it's going to be played, because there's only 5 hits, right? Right, left, right, kick, kick. I'm going to play them as groups of 5. And I say it like that, because that's essentially the idea that we're going. So just so you guys can hear the concept of it, it sounds like... So that's a drum fill, all right, in its basic form. So that's it. That's the drum fill idea. So let me show it to you in context with a groove. It sounds like 2, 3. Now the other thing too is that typically what I'll do as well is I'll do a flam at the very end. So that's what I kind of skipped ahead, but I do a flam typically. So I go flam. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. All right, so that time I also just orchestrated it differently and went around the toms. All right, so that's a drum fill idea that you can totally steal. So for fun, all right, we're going to do this super slowly. If you're new to the heel-toe technique, literally just with the heel of your foot, hit the floor, heel, and then toe, all right? Like as best as you can, or the middle of your foot, and then toe. So you want heel, toe, and see if you can go faster. Right? So that's kind of that's the concept, that's the idea. Now the pattern that you want to do is right, left, right, kick, kick. Right, left, right. Oh. That's it, you got it. Cool. Now, at this speed, because it's not fast right now with this speed, you can totally use a word, though, if you want to remember 5s. You can say university, 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 university. All right, cool. Yeah, that's it, you got it. So that's university. So that's right, left, right, kick, kick. All right, so that's just a linear fill. And for those who don't know, a linear fill, it basically just means no 2 drums hit at the same time. One drum at a time. All right, so you can see that we're just going right, then left, then right, and then kick, kick, linear fill. All right, so that's a drum fill idea that you can totally steal. All right, our second drum fill steal it drum fill idea is this. You can also use that same heel-toe technique concept, all right, but do just doubles with your right hand. So if you're practicing playing doubles with your right hand and just going, and then the 2 kicks, all right, you can actually use those 4 hits as 16th notes. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I could even do that where I just stop on beat 4, right? So you can go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Right? So you can kind of like change it up, but essentially that concept is just all 16th notes, and it's just right, right, kick, kick. All right, so we can practice that slowly. We're just going to go Yeah. And if you guys keep on doing this, if you would like to, you can make this your own by trying different hand patterns, like left, 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 kick, kick. Yeah. So you can try this. Or you can do right, right, left foot. Right? This is like independence, right? That's it. You got it. Cool. Awesome. Also a really quick like rabbit trail. Another thing too for like independence, just doing singles between your cross body is what I call it. Right hand, left foot. Right? Left hand, right foot. Or taking the concept that we were just doing, but instead of right, right, kick, kick, we'll do left, left, kick, kick. Ah. Right? You can totally do that too. So again, it's like, here's the concept. You're doing 16th notes, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, or you can go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Like, you can do anything you want with it, but the concept is right, right, kick, kick. And again, just utilizing that heel-toe technique pattern, all right? Any questions so far on those ones?
None yet.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so those are 2 drum fill ideas that you can totally steal. I use them a lot. Another creative way that you can totally use it is you can actually, if you don't have a double bass, you can pretend to play the double bass by putting your right hand on the floor tom and doing this. Right? So I'm doing... I'm doing like right, right, kick, kick, essentially, but I'm going... Right? And so then it emulates a... I don't have a double kick, but yeah, it's a double kick thing. But with your right hand. So that's a right, right, kick, kick. So that's another creative way that you can totally use that drum fill idea, all right? And then both of those fills too, or all the fills so far, we're using the heel-toe technique there, which is really cool. Another little slide blurb too about the heel-toe technique, by the way, is at a slower tempo, if you're playing like this, or like, yeah, that's that speed right there, it's going to be very difficult to play that heel-toe technique, and you wouldn't really use it at that speed. Like, if I'm playing this, I'm not doing heel-toe here. I'm doing toe-toe. Toe-toe, toe-toe, but this... I'm doing heel-toe technique there. So the heel-toe technique is really helpful for when you get to a certain speed. You kind of need a technique to use. I use heel-toe to be able to push it to that like level to get those doubles, right? All right. Some people use a slide, but I'm just showing you guys the heel-toe technique there. All right. Cool. So the steal it fills that you guys got so far are the right, left, right, kick, kick, right, right, kick, kick using the heel-toe technique. Another one that I like to use, and it's in the 10 Easy Fills page, if you guys have that there, is number 3. Excuse me. And number 3 is one that I like to call Dugga-da-boom. So what this is, if you guys are Drumeo members, you might have seen this video. But essentially what I like to do is put my right hand on the snare, left on tom 1, floor tom, and then kick, so that we get a Dugga-da-boom. Dugga-da-boom. And literally I call it that because it sounds like that. Dugga-da-boom. 1, 2, 3, Dugga-da-boom. 2, 3, Dugga-da-boom. So it starts on beat 4. The snare will land on beat 4. So again, I'll count it out. It goes 1 and 2 and 3 and Dugga-da-boom. 1 and 2 and 3 and Dugga-da-boom. And 2 and 3. You can also say bucket of fish. 1 and 2 and 3 and tired of this. Okay, cool. That's it. You got it. All right, so that's it. 10 easy fills. That's one of them. That's number 3. So I'm going to just veer over to that page there. If you guys have it open. So yeah, these drum fills are very common to use in a lot of pop, rock, funk type of grooves if you're playing. And they're just really simple fills to know and just add into your tool pocket so that when you're playing a rock gig or a pop gig or a dance gig, you kind of have these just in the back of your head, right? So one of the ones that we've done so far, we've actually already done number 1 before. We did it earlier. It's the right, left, right, right. Okay. All right, so that's 4 eando. So we're going to skip number 1. Number 2, very simple but very common one, is a flam kick on beat 4. So a flam, you can choose whatever flam you want. I personally like the right-handed flam, so left, right, and then kick. All right. And if you struggle with like understanding like eighth notes and how fast that they are, listen to your hi-hat when you're playing the main money beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, right? 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and flam kick. 2. You guys can play with me. So 1, 2 and 3 and I'll go like this. 2 and 3. 1. 1. Yeah, you're going to do like a double kick, right? Because you got to do a kick out the beat 1 as well. 2 and 3 and kick, kick. Right. 2 and 3. Right. Now, for those who want to be fancy, you can add a 5-stroke roll on the and of 4. Like, what? 3, 2 and 3 and flam. Da-da-da-da. 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 3. Yeah, so you got it. Sweet. So then now it's like, all right, here's a drum fill that you can steal, the flam kick. But now we're making it our own by, oh, wait, we learned a 5-stroke roll earlier. What does that sound like if I were to combine it? Right now, it's all of a sudden a new type of thing, which is super fun, all right? So there you go. So that's a really common drum fill idea that you can use as well. Let's do another one. All right. So another idea. So let's actually skip down to number 9. So number 9, it's still the dugga-da-boom on beat 4, but beforehand, on beat 3, we're going to do that flam kick. So basically, instead of playing the flam kick on beat 4, we're just going to move it to beat 3 and then continue on with our dugga-da-boom. So if we combine this, it's going to go like 1 and 2 and flam kick, 1 and 2 and 3 and boom. Sorry, and 2 and flam kick, 1 and 2, flam kick, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and flam kick. That's it. You got it. Awesome. Cool, cool. All right. So those are some concepts there, and there's a ton there on the 10 easy fills. Very popular, again, pop, dance, rock music, funk. These drum fills work really well, and then you can speed them up or slow them down depending on the song as well, which is super fun. Any questions on those fills there on that page? Awesome. Cool. Okay. All right. So let's move on to triplet ideas. So one of the ways that we can actually work on triplets is if you have like a metronome going, and for now, because we don't have a metronome, I'm just going to keep my hi-hat foot going. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, omelet, omelet. You can say that too, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, just to get the feel of eighth note triplets in our head. So whenever you're ready, we're going to go together. Ready? And 1, 2, go. Cool, that's it. All right, ready? It's stop. Yeah, that's cool. All right, you guys got it. So we understand what the rhythm's supposed to sound like. So 1 triplet, 2 triplet. That's really cool. What if we were to go left, right? Let's go, actually, we're going to go right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. Let's try that pattern. 2, 3, go. So. Cool, that sounds good. Awesome. All right, what about right, right, left? Right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, go. Awesome. That's super cool. Okay, so we get the concept of eighth note triplets, and if you're playing if you're new to eighth note triplets, a great way to practice them is to literally play a rock groove for 4 beats, and then play those eighth note triplets on any of those patterns. I would suggest the hand to hand, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, just to get a feel for the what's the word? It feels weird going from straight eighth notes on your hi-hat to eighth note triplets and then back again. So just practicing that is really helpful. So just to show you. So if you're new to eighth note triplets, that's a really great exercise to work on. Also, a really good concept is just essentially that, a groove for 4 beats, and then your fill idea or whatever concept you're working on, back to the groove idea. If you're struggling with the fill idea, break it down hit by hit. So for example, if you're struggling with those eighth note triplets, practice just playing the first 3 hits. 1 triplet, stop. 1 triplet, 1 triplet, Then try going 1 triplet, Right? And then then yeah, that's it. You got it. Right? So basically practicing things in a way where it's like not just slow, but practicing it piece by piece, and eventually you will get there because your muscle memory will just kick in. So that's definitely a helpful tip. Okay, so for those who want to just amp this up a little bit more, so you understand the concept of eighth note triplets and you're wanting a way to make this even like more advanced. Well, we talked a little bit earlier about hurdas, and earlier we were doing 2 32nd notes and then 2 16th notes, and I described that a hurda is essentially singles. They're all singles, but it's just that the first 2 are faster, the next 2 are slower. Well, the same concept can apply for eighth note triplet hurtas. You're going to do 2 16th note triplets, all right, that are right, left. And then the last 2 eighth note triplets are going to be slower because they're eighth notes. And so we're going to get, so instead of right, right, left, what you're going to get, right, left, left. Yeah. That's it. You got it. Cool. So here's the thing is that this is a hurda. Right? So that was the one that we were doing earlier. Those are 32nd notes and then 2 16th note. So that's a hurda. But this one's also hurda. It sounds a little different, right? So here's a little challenge. Let's see if we can try to switch back and forth. So for fun. All the people in person just laughed and they said no and they just threw their sticks. No, just joking. But yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to try this. We're going to go okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll explain it. So we're going to do hurtas. Okay, stop. And then you're going to do, just so that we can do the turnaround, we're going to go right, left. Okay, just as an ending. All right, so we'll try that again. So it goes, yeah, hold on. Actually, I'll do it slower. Awesome. Okay, ready and stop. 2. So we're gonna go and go. So. Yeah. So eighth note triplets. Yeah, we'll do a little pause. 1, 2, 3, stop. And let's try the other ones. So. It's kind of weird, like. Yeah, that's it. You got it. Okay, cool. All right, so the idea is like those two can be kind of confusing because like you're doing eighth note triplets for one hertz version. The other one is like 16th notes. but the first two hits are going to be 30 seconds. So again, it's just that like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Clash? Dissonance? It's basically essentially, it just feels weird to have something where it's all evenly spaced, like 16th notes, and then go into like threes or triplets because it just kind of feels weird, like it kind of feels off. But anyways, with that being said, those are hurtas that you can totally use. So let me show you an example of how you would use those. So essentially, like earlier, we were going like, right? So that was the 16th note and 32nd hit. So now we're going to go like, we're going to do that. So 8th note triplets, but they're going to be hurtas. So we're going to go. Right? And then the other one. So it sounds weird, but they're both hurtas. So we're going to do the 8th note. Try that with me, the 8th note one. Right? It feels kind of weird. I'll do it again. Yeah, that was it. You got it. 3, 4, and. One more time. Yeah, that's it. You got it. Another way to think about it, too, is that if you're listening to the hi-hat that I was doing just right here, the 8th note triplet version of those hi-hats, they all land on the beat. Digga-da-da, 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 digga-da-da. But if I were to do the hurtas with the 16th notes and 32nd notes, digga-da-da, 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 digga-da-da-da-da-da-da. Right? I didn't change my hi-hat. It's just that it's the different version of the hurtas. All right? Is that cool? Yeah? Does that sound good? Any questions on that? What's that, VR? Your brain's hurting? Sorry. Sorry, brain. All right, well, okay. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Let me show you another one. So, hurtas. So I showed you now the 8th note triplet hurtas. So that's a drum fill that you can totally steal, okay? Here's another one. These ones are like kind of fun, like simpler ones. Simpler, sort of. I'll show you. This one is one I use all the time. So I'm just going to show it to you guys. It's super fun. Literally, you could totally 100% get away with this. Literally, they're 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but let's make it a little fancy. Here you go. So literally, the rhythm I'm doing, and musically, I'm literally just doing this. But if I'm in a performance, that's one of the ones that I'll actually use in like a solo is I'll do something like that. So essentially what I'm doing is this. They're all single stroke rolls. It's just that I'm doing a crossover to make it look a little fancy. So I'm going right, left, and then right, and then my left hand comes under, left, and then you're back to the beginning. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Right, left, crossovers. Such a cool way to like make things a little bit more fancy, all right? Especially if you're doing like a performance type of thing as well. So if you guys want to try that, you can literally just hit the air like this and go right, left, and these are just all 8th notes. 2 and 3 and 1. That's it. You got it. All right? So that's just a fun one. You can totally steal that one, all right? So that one's really, really cool. Another one, too, that I like to do is back to kind of the triplet idea, is instead of going all just on your hands, what if we were to incorporate a kick drum at the very last set or last 8th note triplet? So instead of left, right, we're going to go left, right, kick. So it's going to sound like, all right? But we want the 8th note triplet feel, right? So we're going to go 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 trip. Yeah. That's it. You got it. Exactly. Now, here's the thing. I stole this one as well. So you now will steal from me henceforth. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you who I stole it from. because this might give it a little bit more context if you're familiar with this guy. But yeah, let me show you. Same root of it, right? Sorry, that was a little messy, but left, right kick, left, right kick, left, right kick, left, right kick. Essentially, I'm going snare, tom, crossover, toms. Does anyone have an idea as to who's that from? It is. It's Bonham. You got it. It is from the great Bonham. These are Bonham triplets. Like, so that's essentially what they are. When I was practicing these Bonham triplets a while back, what I would do is I would literally just sit with my snare drum, though, or a practice pad, and literally just do that rhythm. Yeah, you can play with me. Yeah, that's it. You got it. Now, once you're comfortable with that, separate your hands. Put your right hand on the floor, Tom, so that you get. Cool. Awesome. And then the bottom triplets again are snare, toms, cross, toms. Right? So that's kind of the idea. So you can totally use that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Or you can do 16th notes. I don't know if I can mess it up. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea. Again, same thing, concept, left, right, kick is essentially what's happening, but we're doing crossovers, all right? Okay, cool. So speaking of crossovers, another one that I like to do that you can also steal is this one. So I like to have my right hand on the floor tom, left hand on tom 1. And what I'll typically do, again, it's all single stroke. It's just that it looks really cool because it's a crossover. And what it looks like is this. Slow down. What I'm doing is this. I'm literally just doing single strokes, making sure, though, that I do this first. So right hand on the floor tom, left on tom 1. And we're just going to go one drum at a time, counterclockwise, like this. This is the part that's weird. You got to do this. And then bring your left hand over to the snare. And then right, left. And then you're back to the beginning. So I'll do that again. I'll do it slow. Right, left, right, crossover. This is the weird one. Right, left, back to the beginning. And they're triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, then 2 and 3 and 4. All right, or you can do 16th notes. So you can kind of like play around with that as much as you want. But that's, again, concept. So start with the floor tom on your right hand, left hand on tom 1, and just go right, left, and you just go one drum at a time. All right? Cool. Is there any questions on any of those ones yet? No questions. I don't know. Is questions, is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. Hopefully you guys are still hanging out and stuff. And, yeah, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask them. Do you guys have any questions at all so far? No? Your head's exploding. Yours and VR's heads are exploding. Okay, cool. They're just exploding. I love it. No, I don't love it, but I mean, awesome. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. So those were all Steal It drum fills. All right. So I showed you guys like the right kick. I showed you guys the right kick. I showed you guys the windmill. The crossover crashes. Right? That concept as well. The dugga-da-boom. Right? Yeah, so those are all drum fill ideas that you can totally steal, and then now you can make them your own. So I'll show you an example of that, and it brings us to our next section, which is re-orchestrate it, all right? So let me do the example of, now that you've stolen this drum fill, all right, how would you make that your own? So essentially what you would want to do is be like, okay, well, now I know this movement, right, left, right, kick. Well, what if I started on the floor tom instead, and then went over to the snare? Oh, now it's different. Oh, what if I went back and forth? What if I just went back and forth and did random drums? Right? Like, it's just like, and there's going to be times that you're going to mess up. Like, I just messed up a ton there. But essentially the same thing, right? You have the concept of it, right, left, right, kick. And then it's your job to be able to come up with different ways to reorchestrate it. Yeah, Cindy.
So if you accidentally miss a beat, how do you recover?
I run away, and then that's the end of the gig. Just joking. No. So if I mess up in a fill or a groove idea, one of the things is like coming up with ways to like recover from that is definitely key. Like, you don't want to just stop and be like, guys, like, I just stopped. That's awkward. But also what you want to do is be able to have it so that you know where beat one is, so that you can recover from that. So let's say I'm playing like a drum fill, and I'm like, all right, okay, here's the drum fill. Oh, wait, I still have the beat in my head. 4. So come back on 1, 3, 1. That's literally how I'll do it. It's just like, make sure to always be counting and know where beat 1 is, so that you understand, like, okay, I can come back in on beat 1. Another like side story is that one time I was at a drumming competition and I threw my drumstick in the air and I landed on my butt, like literally like butt, and like just like was trying to catch the drumstick, but it was too far. And then I grabbed it and then ran back on the drum throne and then went back in on beat 1. And there was like a whole awkward pause of me attempting to like recover from grabbing my drumstick. So it happens. It's definitely a thing, especially if you're throwing your drumsticks and whatnot. But with that being said, super important to like just count and hear what the other instruments are doing so that you can come back in on beat 1, or beat 1 is honestly your safest bet. Any other questions?
Now, there's a really good comment after that. Sharon makes it look easy, but it really speaks to the need to practice your rudiments. Go slowly and build up, and break down the exercises in manageable chunks. Yeah. I use a metronome a lot for practicing. It really helps.
Yeah, totally. That's awesome. Honestly, a metronome is like super helpful, especially when working on different note values, quarter notes, eighth note, 16th note, eighth note triplets, and then also different rudiments so that your hands get used to playing those patterns. Another quick hack as well is that like if you are playing with a metronome, one of the things that I would highly recommend is to work with a gap click as well. So that will also help with your timing at the same time if you want to take your metronome playing to a next level. So having it click for 3 bars, and then the last bar is nothing. So you got to keep the time in your head to see if on beat 1 you're right on. Like, that's super helpful. And then what you can do is take the gap click even further and be like, okay, 1 bar of click, 3 bars of nothing. Here is my timing. It sucks. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? But, or not. Or you're awesome. So, like, also that too. But you know what I mean? So that's also a really good way to practice timing at the same time as gap click trainers too. Yeah, Vihar. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah, totally. So,
just repeat the question.
Yeah, totally. So, Vihar was asking about like playing drum fills over the bar line. So, one of the things that we do when we start to learn drum fills at the beginning is like drum fill, beat 1 is the groove, right? Like kind of idea. So you're talking about like playing drum fills where it's like past like beat 1 and stuff. Yeah. Are you wanting to know like how to do it, or you're just wanting to know like? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. So Vihar is like basically asking like, where do you like come in and stuff if you're playing a drum fill over the bar line? Okay, so a couple things, especially with gospel chops, this is definitely applicable as well for sure. honestly, counting is like a huge one, like understanding where all those beats land, where the E's and the ahs and all of that stuff is as well is super helpful. But a great way to practice it is actually to count out loud while you're playing stuff and see if you can play drum fills over into beat 1. And then for right now, see if you can play a drum fill into beat 1 and then land on beat 2. Knowing beat 2 is going to be a snare drum because it's a backbeat, right? Okay, let me see if I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that was still a drum fill. I can do it on... let's try it 1 and 2 of the next bar. I'm basically going to come back in on beat 3. So I know beat 3 is going to be a kick and hi-hat, so I might go, I'm just going to make something up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I just have to remember that I can just keep filling until beat 3 comes around, and 3 is going to be this. So that's a way to practice it. You can do the same thing and be like, okay, what about if you filled for... beat 2, beat 3, beat 4, beat 1, beat 2, beat 3. You know what I'm saying? So like going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. See how I did 4 is like this? Because I know 4 is going to be the backbeat again, right? That's a really like helpful way to practice, like practicing drum fills over the bar line is literally to count like that. So then that way you know, okay, I'm going to keep filling, playing random stuff, but I know that once I say 4 of the next bar, I got to play this somehow. I got to land on that. That's just like a really helpful way to do over the bar line stuff. Did you have a question? Or I thought you went like this. Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, you never know what to apply them. Okay. So honestly, it depends on the song. Oh, VR is asking when to apply these like over the bar line fills. Part of it is it depends on the song. Gospel music uses it a lot because they like to do drum fill ideas that are kind of surprises and not on beat 1. Like, you know what I mean? They'll play crashes on beat 1 and etc. But they like to do like the surprise stuff, like the drum fills that start on the and of 2 or they start on the and of 3 or whatever it is. And then they'll go over the bar line and then land on the backbeat or whatever it is, right? So context-wise, gospel chops, they use over the bar line stuff a lot. You'll hear it a lot in like funk as well. Very popularly in like odd time signature stuff as well. Like that's like a really popular one too. But also too, to learn like over the bar line fills for the sake of just knowing them and just being like, I'm gonna take this fill and put it here, like in this song. Not really, like you don't really want to do that. You want to make sure that you phrase your fills correctly as well, because then if you try to be like, well, I want to use this over the bar line fill, does it work in this song? It doesn't, but I'm going to try it anyways. That's not really the way that to do it either. So, but to answer your question, gospel is like a really popular one, and funk, for sure. Yeah. My favorite fills?
For 5/8 or 7.
Okay, so yeah, so favorite drum fills for 5/8 and 7/8. Okay, so this kind of like ties into a subject I was going to talk about later, but I'll talk about it now. So when it comes to drum fills, the whole point of drum fills is just to fill in space. So yes, I'm giving you like drum fill ideas to steal and to use and stuff. At the same time, whenever I play like 5/8 or 7/8, I will often just play normally like the drum fills that I'm doing, or I've already shown you guys, but just cut it a beat short. So if I'm going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What I'm doing is I would play that in 4/4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. That was actually like very similar fill. I just in the 7/8 version just cut it short. So that's another thing too when it comes to like 7/8 grooves and fills. A lot of the times I'll use similar stuff that I've been using, but just cut it short. Or I'll do like, yeah, that's honestly like the main thing for sure. So because again, the idea for both time signatures or all time signatures is that we're wanting to fill in space, right? So yeah, does that, hopefully that answers? Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, we have 15 minutes. Okay, so on top of just still, so we did steal it. Now it's reorchestrate it, right? Where I'm like, okay, taking a drum fill idea that we've been learning and trying them on different drums. It's essentially what reorchestrating it means. The other thing, too, is that besides just like playing different drums, you can also play with different colors or textures on the drums. That's a really popular thing to do, too. So I talked about hi-hat barks earlier. So instead of going, tug-a-da-boom, maybe you want to go, right? I'm using like a hi-hat bark thing. Or you want to use the bell. Or whatever. Like you can kind of use like different colors as well. So that's another way to reorchestrate things as well. So steal it, reorchestrate it, essentially taking fills and just making them your own that way. The third one that I wanted to talk about is sing it. All right. So this one is, I think, underrated when it comes to drum fill ideas. So what I mean by that is, I know, Allison, we were talking about like singing and playing drums and what that's like. And yes, singing and playing drums is definitely like a skill on its own because you're saying something different than what you're playing. So there's that. However, when it comes to drum fill ideas, it's super helpful if you're like, I don't know how to like be creative with this drum fill idea in the song or whatever it may be. One of the ways that you can totally work on that is utilizing your voice and strengthening that in a way where your voice becomes a beatboxer, essentially, or a way to sing different drum fill ideas. So what I mean by that is I'm going to show you guys, okay? So let's say you're playing a bar of groove, and right now we don't have any other instruments right now, but we're just going to just keep this groove going. So let me say I'm going to play 4 beats of groove, and then I'm like, all right, I'm going to stop after, and I'm just going to sing a drum fill idea. With all the note values that I know, 8th note triplets, 16th notes, 8th notes, etc., I'm just going to come up with something. So I'm just going to sing it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba, 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 ticka-dom, ba. Okay, that's kind of cool. What would that sound like on the drum set? It might sound like this. Right? Oh, that's cool. What if we reorchestrated it like we talked about earlier? So I like that rhythm, but what if it sounded like something like this? Okay, I changed it a little bit, but still the same idea. So we're still gonna go ba 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 or something ba 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 digga dom ga. Okay, so here we go. Right? Okay. So essentially what I was doing is like I'm literally just jamming. I'm playing a groove, thinking of creative rhythm ideas that I can use as a drum fill for 4 beats, and then after I say it, I try to apply it on the drum set in a way where I'm like, what if I just played what I just sang? And that's a super helpful skill to be able to do, right? So let's try different drum fill ideas. What I'm going to get you guys to do is this. I'm going to play a groove for 2 bars. I'll play it for, like, I'll count you guys in. And essentially, I'm going to sing something. So it's going to sound like this. I'll go like 1, digga, 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 da, da. Okay? You guys got to remember that rhythm, and then you guys are going to go digga, digga, da, da. Yeah, like that. Okay? All right, now you guys might do something like this. One person might be like, I'm just going to do that on one hand. Like, okay. Another person might be like, well, I'm going to do a flam. I'm going to do something like this. It already sounds different because I did a flam. Maybe you have a quiet kick over there, and you decide that you want to do something like, right? It's like that's the exact same rhythm, but it's just a different drum fill. All right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a bar of groove. I'm going to sing a drum fill idea. Bar of groove, it's your turn to copy it, but you guys are all going to play it differently. All right? Sound good? So here we go. Let's try it. 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's try another one. Ga 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 ga. Yeah. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Da da ba ba. Da ga ga ba. And 1, 2. Try that one. 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3. Another one. Bra ba ba boom. Bra ba ba boom boom. 2, 3, 4. 1. That's it. You got it. 3, 4. 4, and da 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 bra ba ba ba, and 2 and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 da, bra ba 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 bra ba ba ba, 3, 4, and yeah. All right, last one. Ready? Da 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 bra ba ba ba. Here we go. Yeah, that's it. You got it. So singing, super underrated, but it's one of those things that are so helpful when it comes to drum fill ideas. If you can sing it, you can play it, right? And then it also helps just musicality in general and internalizing different kinds of rhythms. And then at the same time, you're understanding different kinds of note values, like 16th notes, 8th note triplets. And even though you might not know that this is a 8th note attached to 2 16th notes after, maybe you don't know that theoretically, but you know that the sound sounds like but. You're internalizing your musicality and just knowledge of different note values without even knowing it, which is super helpful. Yeah? Any questions on that? Yeah. Totally. Yeah. For sure. So Allison's wondering about different ways to incorporate djembe rhythms and fills ideas to groove. Totally. One of the things that I love to do on the drum kit is I'll turn off the snares. So then we get this, and I'll use that sound as the edge of a djembe. So if I'm going like, so stuff like that. You can even like tighten. Or if you have a Welch tuning system drum, you can just do it right on the snare drum. Free advertisement. Yeah, it's like, I love it. I love that snare drum. It sounds super cool. Anyway, yeah. So doing stuff like that where it's like, okay, these are all these like djembe patterns. Totally. You can also actually use a snare drum too if you want. Right, stuff? Like you can totally use that stuff too, but like honestly, it's like really cool to be able to use the toms as like djembe pattern. So that's an idea for sure. But there's lots of ways you can use the djembe rhythms and grooves like this. Yeah, another one too I like to do is I'll do like the cross stick. Like just stuff like that. You can totally do that. That's also a really popular one, just to hit the snare. Like stuff like that. And you can even do it just on the snare. Like. Right? Stuff like that. You can totally do stuff like that. It's super cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, questions?
We have a question. Can Sharon suggest a good book with practice exercises for various time signatures and various note values?
Yes. What was that, Joy? Yeah, like his polyrhythm book. Yeah, so that's one I was thinking of. I don't think New Breed has any. Okay, yeah, I will suggest that one. Aaron Edgar has a book. Aaron Edgar, he works for Drumeo, but he does a lot of polyrhythms, and he is one of the type of guys who can make very complicated things understood very simply and easily. He just did an awesome course, actually, with time signatures and understanding that on Drumeo, where he literally goes through polyrhythms and like odd time signatures in like a 20-minute video, and he just is like, here. And he uses like animation and stuff. But one of the books that he's written is called what is it called again? Polyrhythm. If you look up Aaron Edgar, so AARONEDGAR, he has a book called Polyrhythmic Modulation. No, it's not that. It's something about polyrhythms. But that one's an awesome book. I would highly suggest that one if you're looking into different time signatures and ideas like that. Cool. Progressive Drumming Essentials is what Joy just said. Progressive Drumming Essentials by Aaron Edgar. Awesome. Yes. Yeah, it's all the things. He's amazing.
So we have time for one more question.
Okay, yep.
None at my end. Anyone here? Everybody's just saying they're working all the stuff out. That's why they've been a bit quiet. They're excited
that's fair,
about
yeah.
it.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah. Well, anyway, like if you guys have any questions at all, again, email me at sharon@drumeo.com. Again, these fill ideas on how to make it your own. These are only 3 concepts. Steal it, re-orchestrate it, sing it. These are just 3 concepts, but there's so many things out there that can help with drum fill creativity. And so, yeah, definitely take these concepts and run with it. And if you guys have any more questions, email me at sharon@drumeo.com. So.
Terrific. Thanks, Sharon.
Cool.
And we'll be back in about 5 minutes with Tammy.
Awesome.
Yay.
Woo!
Thanks.
All right.
See you shortly.